Hello, and welcome to the Nerds at Large E3 Day Zero coverage, I guess. E3 hasn't really started yet, but this is pretty much E3. E3 is a month at this point, Jeff.
Yep.
E3 started 3 weeks ago, or whenever we got that Final Fantasy VII reveal trailer. I am Darby Hallman.
I am Jeff Mayo.
And Jeff, today, right now in this video, we are going to discuss Pokemon and all of its various things. Google Stadia, I think it was Google Connect. Google Stadia Connect is what those are going to be called now. Basically, their Direct. Everyone has a Direct nowadays. And last but not least, the Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order reveal. Obviously, there were other things that happened, and we might discuss a few other things, but those are the main topics, especially from EA, because we just really don't care about the rest of the hours of EA play that happened.
We do got one other EA thing to talk about, which is kind of exciting.
Yeah, so we will get there. So we have a few things to just get before the conferences start, which we are recording this like an hour and a half or wait, no.
About 2 hours.
2 hours before Microsoft. So E3, Jeff, it's about to start happening, and man, we're so excited.
Banjo hype!
And all those are going to be twitch.tv/nerdsatlargegaming will be all our reactions to all those major conferences. Get excited, because we're excited. And in the Nerds at Large Gaming podcast feed and on YouTube, you'll be able to find those after the fact. Now, Jeff, let's waste no more time, and let's start off with Pokemon. And Jeff...
Oh, we're doing that first.
Well, chronologically, it wasn't the first name. And Jeff, I know what you want to talk about first, but I refuse. I refuse to let us talk about Sword and Shield before we a little bit talk about
that
Pokemon Sleep.
Okay.
You might not have been ready for this, but we're talking about. I will not. I refuse.
So we're doing the other Pokemon conference thing.
Yes,
a little bit, I guess.
A little bit. I just have to. I've yet to be able to talk to you on the podcast about all of that.
Yeah,
the whole thing.
Did you watch the whole thing?
Yes.
Okay.
Jeff, I think that was a moment in gaming history that we all had to watch. It was a required viewing. So that happened. That was a real thing that happened. Not a fakey fake thing. That was a real thing that happened. I'm just going to say just immediately, I might end up sounding like a crazy conspiracy theorist person, but Pokemon Sleep kind of terrifies me.
Okay.
Because we're already getting to the point where every company wants all of your information, and they're Pokemon Go is already kind of it's fun and you're having fun, but we also know everywhere you're going and know all your information, and we want you to send us information about every place you go every day in your life, but it's fun.
Yeah.
Right?
Look at all those miles you walk.
This just seems like a very thinly veiled way of we also want to know when you sleep and how we just want to know everything about you. We want Pokemon to be in your brain at all hours of the day, even when you're sleeping. You can't escape Pikachu even in your dreams.
It's true.
I'm joking a little bit, but I'm a little bit not. It is you were sending Pokemon Company information about you at all times of the day if you participate in all of this. And on top of that, it's just weird as fuck. What is Pokemon Sleep?
That's the thing. We don't really know much because they just said it's a thing, but they didn't really go into detail.
Yeah.
And we know the Pokeball plus or whatever.
Pokemon plus.
Yeah.
Yeah. We don't have to talk about this too much, but what'd you think about that whole presentation and Pokemon Sleep?
I thought it was fine. I think people may be overreacting to it in general.
It's just funny. It was weird.
But it's a weird thing. I don't know what people were expecting. I still don't really know what people. I don't know. It's a weird thing.
Jeff, I'm not mad about what was shown.
No,
I couldn't care less.
Yeah.
I'm the weird dramatic music that played every time someone came out there. That guy talking about Godzilla, and then be I wasn't supposed to talk about that.
Darby, he was teasing Dynamaxing.
That's true. And then Pokemon Sleep just seems like a fever dream. It seems like something that doesn't actually exist. Anyway, but we can move on.
When we talk about the other kind of things just real quick, I'm trying to remember what the other announcements were. They talked about Pokemon. The Detective Pikachu 2, maybe? And it was still kind of confusing what that is. But Detective Pikachu game is coming to Switch. It's supposed to... The original one apparently ended on a cliffhanger. and this is supposed to finish up the story, but it's not completely clear if the first part of the story is going to be part of this, or is just the continuation of it.
Yeah, it wasn't clear if it was kind of like a remake or like re-release type thing, or like a full-on sequel. So, it was like very weirdly worded.
Yeah, so.
And nothing really shown.
That's like the least surprising thing of this thing. I expected that announcement.
And then there was that Pokemon mobile game thing, right?
Pokemon Masters, I think, which it's a cool idea. It's kind of like the Fire Emblem type thing of just the simplified version of it. I'm probably not going to play it. I like the idea of it. The key art thing for it, it's dope. I love it. I like the idea of it just being a whole bunch of the prolific trainers for all the games. And
Shirtless Brock.
Yeah, Shirtless Brock and all that kind of stuff. So it looks cool.
Like that.
If it's free, I'll probably try it out for 2 seconds and then never touch it again. If that.
Yeah.
Odds are I probably won't touch it.
Definitely not I think.
There was one other announcement. I can't remember what it was. Because they were saying kind of like 4 announcements. I can't remember what the 4th one was.
I mean, Andy Cortez, kind of funny, already said Pokemon Eat Your Vegetables is going to be the next one.
Yeah. Yeah, it's probably nothing big.
Pokemon Bathroom.
Yeah.
Pokemon Vacation. Pokemon Give Us Your Credit Card.
Yeah.
Your social security number.
They already got that. We go.
Yeah.
But yeah, we can move on to the Sword and Shield Direct, which there's a reaction of me watching it,
Yeah, and you can find that. youtube.com/nerdsatlarge.
So we can go through some of the main points and kind of talk about it a little bit. The biggest thing kind of out of it is the new kind of gimmick/mechanic thing that's going to be in this game, which is Dynamaxing.
Yeah, okay. We can start there. Let me find it.
Yeah, so you're watching the trailer where it's just kind of like showing us stuff like, ooh, big open areas with Pokemon in the field. Ooh, new Pokemon. What in the world is happening to that Raichu? Why is it so big?
He's so large.
Yeah, so Dynamaxing seems to be this gen's version of Mega Evolutions and Z moves. And if I'm being perfectly honest, it's kind of funny for a second, but I'm like, this seems lame in comparison.
Yeah.
To the last two.
Yeah, there's like there was definitely, as with many things, there was definitely like I saw some overreaction of like this is the worst shit in the world. It's like
I'm not gonna go there. I mean,
it doesn't really interfere that much, but it adds nothing. I mean, it's like there's no net like gain from this. It's just like okay, they're big. It's like it seems like a very kind of lazy big thing, or at least in comparison to like Mega Evolution, all those other like
I'm trying to what was I say? Oh yeah, and I think you can only use it at certain places like the gym battles and during those max raid battles, and maybe some couple other like story.
Well, it almost felt like I kind of like I didn't pay a whole lot of attention to this because this was a mainly year thing.
Yeah.
It almost seemed like it was like a limit break type thing. Like you build it up and you were able to use it after a while. Like
no,
does it not work
as
that
far
way?
as my understanding is. You could use it the moment the battle starts, but it only lasts 3 turns, and that's the only time you use it in a match.
Yeah, but like
Z-moves were similar in Mega Evolution and stuff.
Okay.
I don't think it's like a meter or anything you build up. Just, you gotta do the... I don't know what the requirements are. I don't know if, like... With Z-moves and Mega Evolutions, you had to equip a certain stone to the Pokemon you were going to use the Z-move or Mega Evolution for to be able to do it. So I don't know if there's an equivalent to that for this.
Yeah, sure.
Because each Pokemon can hold an item, so yeah, you hold stones for those things. I don't know. Yeah, there's equivalent for that, or if you can just do it at any time for any Pokemon. So we'll have to see about all that. So
yeah, just overall, kind of, it's lame.
It's whatever.
Yeah.
Though there is something interesting. And I'll get to that at the end. Maybe go through a couple of that. Max raid battles are connected to Dynamaxing, where up to 4 players, and you can do this alone with AI companions. Go to certain areas on the map and fight this giant Dynamax Pokemon and battle it. And once you deplete its HP enough, you can catch it. It sounds like, you can, once you defeat it, then you can throw the ball and all that kind of stuff. And each team, once you're in there, only one person can do Dynamaxing and make one of their Pokemon big.
Yeah, which that element of it seems weird because it seems like one person could just, as soon as it gets it, like they just use it. And it's like, all right, well, thanks.
And
Greg.
because this is Nintendo technically with their online thing, I know it's technically Game Freak and it might be a decision, but it's also a thing where it's like, can you get with friends online? Is that going to be a feature we can do?
Sad part is we can't just assume.
Yeah,
because,
we can't assume, which sucks. But
in theory, I think this is cool.
I think it's cool. Like, they've mentioned in it sounds like there are certain Pokemon you can't get otherwise without doing this. I think that's a cool way to distribute Pokemon that aren't in the base game already, because they only have, I think they normally have like 300-ish Pokemon at most in each game, and we're approaching like 900 or whatever. Yeah. So I think that's a cool way to get some distribute some Pokemon that aren't already in the game in there. Maybe that they do some stuff where they distribute legendary Pokemon. That could be an event. It's like, hey, there's a freaking Dynamax Mewtwo out there you can go catch.
Yeah.
Team up with people and do it. I think that stuff's cool.
I mean, it seems like weird to compare it to this, but honestly, I think it's an apt comparison. Like, this seems like a page out of like the Destiny notebook, the Division notebook, all these, like, you give these big events that everyone like comes back to the game for, and like everyone like joins together to like fight to like do this common goal. It seems weird to have that in Pokemon, just because I guess Pokemon's usually way more traditional. This seems like a very modern game trend, but like, that sounds really cool. Like, you know, if there's a new raid battle out or something, like maybe if you can join with friends, which I really hope you can, like maybe you and Alex and Olivia all jump on there and I was like, yeah, let's go try to take down this big thing. And especially if Pokemon is, the base game is as easy as it normally is and probably still will be, maybe this will be a way to like add in some difficulty. Like maybe some of those raid battles, like these are like really difficult. Like, like these are kind of for the hardcore, like, you know, just like Destiny raids. There's a lot of Destiny raids that like casual players just can't beat because it's not for them. It's for the hardcore. And that could be cool. That could be a really cool element. Yeah.
If I hear more about it at some point, it might be playable. We know Sword and Shield is playable at E3. Nintendo announced that. I imagine the two main things they'll do is they have a couple sets, you know, groups of 4. You can do max raid battles and maybe explore this new thing they announced, the wild area.
Yes.
Which is a pretty exciting thing. What it is pretty much a big wide open area in the middle of the region, which seems to kind of connect to most of the cities in some way.
Yeah.
Where, you know, big wide open area, and there are a bunch of Pokemon just roaming out in the wild. So they're bringing back the whole Pokemon, or necessarily random encounters. I think there are some. We need to get more information about that. There was like 1 or 2 instances where they were in the grass and something came up, they ran to it, and there was like a wild battle. So there is some elements of that.
But this was way more like a more modern RPG where they're on the overworld.
Yeah, and I think it works definitely for Pokemon, especially with the big areas. Like, hey, this is a world where it's alive. There are Pokemon that live in this world. I think it works for this.
Yeah, and like me and you, I assume we're about to get into it. Like. Yeah. It takes away certain things like Nuzlocke, but I think we both agree that for the game itself, like it's better for the game and for new people getting in there. Because when I look at that world, like it does. I'm still like probably not getting this game, but I will definitely say
you might experience it through us playing it for the channel.
Oh yeah, and I'll probably end up playing the whole game by playing it with the channel. That'll be a lot of fun. But looking at this like versus the first trailer, this does look very interesting. Like the world, like it looks like a Tales game or something. Like the open world looks like an open world, and it looks way more so than any Pokemon I've seen previously. And I do think that kind of outweighs what you lose.
No, I 100% agree, because it makes the world more interesting. One thing that I didn't really care for the Pokemon roaming the map thing in Let's Go is because the map was 1-to-1 with the original game, so it was pretty basic. So just seeing Pokemon roam around that was kind of boring and kind of like, they're just kind of running around in circles. I mean, they're probably going to do that here, but at least more it'll probably look more at least natural in Sword and Shield. Not perfect, but more than Let's Go, where it's the red and blue map.
Also, you can turn that camera.
You can turn the camera up in the wild areas. And the variety of Pokemon we saw in there is pretty interesting. Like, I don't know why I keep on pointing this out. The freaking wild Steelix there. Normally, you can only get that by trading an Onix with a certain item.
Yeah, I saw your reaction. You were like, what? And I was like, okay. I don't know why.
And then they show stuff like the weather and night influenced it, because they showed nighttime and there were ghost Pokemon out. And Sandstorm,
that's cool.
There were like some new rock and ground Pokemon out in the water. They're obviously water Pokemon and all that. And there's like snow-covered areas where there's ice Pokemon out and stuff like that. So that kind of stuff is really cool. And I'm kind of taking this from Brandon Jones from Easy Allies mainly. It kind of gives you incentive to keep on going back to the wild area, depending how in depth they go with this, the whole weather thing, because you might go through there multiple times, but if you go back, the Pokemon that might be out there might be different than last time you looked. Yeah. So you got an incentive to, like, let's say you have 10 minutes, just go out there, run, see what you can find.
Which, yeah, that's awesome. I think that inches closer to the Pokemon game you were wanting this to be. And I mean, this seems way more like an RPG. I mean, that's the biggest thing, is that this is like the most like modern RPG looking Pokemon has looked. And I still don't think we're all the way there, but this is like, I do honestly think this is closer to that than we thought it was based off the first trailer. Mm-hmm. I am interested to see, like, is the wild area, like, is it most of the map, and then outside the wild area is like different towns and story stuff, or is this really just like a place in the middle, and then outside of that is like a typical Pokemon game with random encounters? Like, with them referring to this as the wild area makes me feel like it might be smaller, like it's just an area in the map. Like, because if it was just the open world, it seems like you would just call it. You know, you wouldn't call it.
I think it's a pretty sizable part of the map, and it does connect to a lot of towns. It might just in areas and stuff, it might be a thing you kind of go through it, and there might be like a little kind of more narrow route leading to some places and stuff like
maybe
that.
For like story missions, for like there's like linear parts of the game, but then there's also the
but it seems to be pretty big and everything, and it seems like it might evolve with the game, because again, there were some they showed a lot of high level like fully evolved Pokemon out there, which a lot of those Pokemon you don't catch at all, if not, or you got to do at the end game. So I'm interested to see how that works.
Yeah. Okay. And it looks like there's different like puzzles in the world, or someone like shaking fruit off a tree. Like I'm interested to see how many like outside of Pokemon battle stuff they have in here.
That shaking the tree thing, we'll get to that. That's part of the leaks. We'll talk about that for the funsy. Let's go. Once we get to that, they showed the Rotom phone, not in the trailer, but on their website and stuff. Where people Rotom is a Pokemon, an electric ghost Pokemon that can take over objects. So like one thing, for instance, is washing machines is a popular one, and it changes its type. Like it makes it like ghost water or something. I can't remember the exact type. And so stuff like that.
Oh, yeah, I know this guy. This guy. Yeah,
and in Sun and Moon, he took over your Pokedex. And was your little companion. And in the anime, he's Ash's companion with that. And so he's back as a phone. So that'd be cool. And fun. Like any time we get new Pokemon news, the new Pokemon is usually up there in as far as being exciting. We got a couple. The first Pokemon is one that is taking the internet by storm. Wooloo.
Yes,
I love
Wooloo.
It seems to maybe be our normal Pokemon for this gen, like the basic normal Pokemon, kind of like Zigzagoon and Emerald. Then we got Gossifleur, which is a flower Pokemon. Then we got its evolved form, Eldegoss, which is like cotton his hair with seeds in it.
Eldegoss.
We got Dreadnought.
He's cool. Like he was the like Blastoise looking guy with the like.
Yeah, I got to saying it during the reaction. He kind of looks like a Pokemon that could be like that's his only evolution potentially.
Yeah.
Or he's either the middle evolution, or he has like at most one other evolution maybe.
Right.
To get bigger.
He already looks too big.
Yeah. And Corviknight.
Yeah, I like this one.
Which is going to replace the TM for Fly.
Yeah.
Which is not like. This is not surprising. They're continuing the trend of, hey, TMs are gone. Mm-hmm. A couple ways showed is like, Corviknight's like a taxi agency in towns. You go from town to town. And also they showed in the wild area, when you go in the water, you ride your bike over the water.
Yeah.
Does
that mean if you don't have a Corviknight, you can't fly? Or it's someone else. It's just the town Corviknight.
Yeah, pretty much. And Corviknight looks cool. He's a steel flying.
Especially if he evolves, I want to see like what kind of vampire, dark, edgy
kind of like Dreadnought. I can see this being like he's a one-stage Pokemon, this is the fully evolved form, and he has like a little form. Like we get a little baby Raven.
Yeah. Either way, he looks cool. I mean, he's cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
And we also got the box legendaries Zacian and Zamazinta.
These are the two wolves.
Yeah, the sword and shield wolves.
I think they're cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Zacian's a freaking sword in his mouth.
It's pretty hype. Yeah. The shield one's a little weird how it's like his face is a shield, but I still like them. Like they're still, and I like kind of the unity. Like I saw some people complaining about like, oh, they're both wolves. Like I kind of liked how it was like the yin and yang of I kind of like the two wolves. Mm-hmm. It was cool. But.
We also have champion Leon. The guy with the cape with the ads on the back of his cape.
Yeah, which I love that. I love that, like, with the whole sports element of this that
the gym battles
they were going to get into. Like, I like that they had, like, NASCAR sponsorships, like, all over them. It was, like, it's really... Because that's what would happen. That's absolutely what would happen in this.
We saw his brother and what is going to be one of your rivals, Hop. It seems like the normal rival thing. I'm hoping they might. Unfortunately, this Pokemon, so it's probably not going to happen. I'd kind of hope maybe there's some like story things where he doesn't feel like he's living up to his brother thing because his brother's the champion.
Yeah, his brother kind of seemed like a douchebag. He just had that air about him.
Professor Magnolia, they continue the trend of professors named after trees or whatever, and she researches Dynamax.
I only know Oak's name, but
Yeah.
that makes sense.
And you see her granddaughter and assistant Sonia, who's also Leon's childhood friend and former rival. So that could be a cool story thing. It's like it's kind of maybe they're talking is like a reflection of your journey or of your rival. Be like, hey, we went through this, that kind of thing. Again, this is Pokemon, so I don't necessarily expect that, but I kind of hope they go into that some.
Yeah,
That could be cool.
and one of y'all's biggest complaints was that the rivals aren't mean. Like the rivals are just like everyone's happy and good to each other.
Yeah, I mean, I don't necessarily need like a mean rival, but not just a happy-go-lucky, everything's fine, like,
Yeah.
and that's it.
It'd be cool if it went a little darker.
But they said for Hop, one of your rivals. And they showed during the thing, he picks the type that is weak against yours. Because normally the rival's the one who picks the one that's strong against your starter Pokemon. So
there
that
might be
so,
another one that.
yes, and they have in some games given you at least 2 rivals.
Gotcha. That's cool.
So
That's cool.
that could be exciting. They showed gyms off. Yeah, the gym leader Milo, who's the grass type gym leader. Held an Elogus. So yeah, gyms. They show gyms. You're in the giant soccer stadium. There's a whole crowd. It's being filmed on TV and stuff. I like that. It adds more like. This is one of those small things that I'm glad Pokemon's just doing now. Things like, hey, this is a world.
Yeah, and it's cool to see like these people are jazzed about Pokemon. Like
Yeah.
it's like a sporting event. And
Yep. And there could be cool interactions later on. It's like, hey, once you're kind of friendly, it's like, hey, I saw you on TV. You had a nice gym battle.
Yeah, I think they said somewhere in there it's like, and they're televised all around.
Yeah.
You
See a little like the drone, Rotom drone going around. That's the camera.
Oh yeah, that's cool. Oh, that's
Yeah.
cool. That's cool. Yeah, bring in like some Detective Pikachu, like the movie type things. Like I want to see Pokemon being used in certain ways. Cause they like this. It does seem like this game does also kind of have an element of that Rhyme City type thing where
Yeah.
the people are working with the Pokemon. Like it's not just.
They also showed a cute little why not playing hopscotch, and I like that.
That's adorable. Yeah, I want more world building. Like
Yeah.
that is one complaint I've had just looking at some of the other Pokemons. Is like some of the Pokemon games, the worlds just kind of seem like they're there to provide you the game, and it's like there's not much depth to them.
Yep.
But I would like to see like little things like that. Like I'm walking down the road and I see someone. I don't have an example,
Yep.
but just using their Pokemon.
That stuff
in some
definitely has
interesting
me
way.
excited. And the release date, November 15th. Hype. That's about what we expected.
Yeah, we didn't know that, did we?
No,
Okay.
that's new information, but you can expect around there, maybe a couple weeks before or something.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Now, before we move on, I'm just going to read through some of the. There was a leak on 4chan or whatever the hell, where it came out May 24th. So this was a couple weeks ago. That had a lot of this information on there, names and all.
Yeah, so
It seems to be pretty legit. I'm not going to read through everything, and unfortunately, apparently there's going to be an evil legendary, and that's what they were hitting at the end of the legendary thing, where they were like battling and then the wind go, and they were like getting ready to like fight something else.
yeah.
Apparently, Dynamax is not the only thing. Gigantamaxing is apparently a thing.
Oh no.
Gigantamaxing is different from Dynamax as it changes what the Pokemon looks like.
Okay.
Meowth looks like a long cat. Lapras gets some musical notes, and Pikachu becomes retro fat Pikachu.
Oh wait, what? Are you serious? Heck yeah.
Some Pokemon like Farfetch will get regional evolutions like Surfetched.
It's like he's surf.
No, Sir, like a knight.
Ah.
Kyle Bossman is stoked.
Yeah, that's his favorite Pokemon.
Meowth, there's just something about Meowth which makes it sound like it might get an evolution, which would be cool. So that kind of stuff I'm excited about, and it goes into some of the starter stuff. Grookey becomes a giant gorilla that beats on a giant wooden drum.
Seems
Stuff
on
like
brand.
that. Score Bunny might be only
Donkey Kong.
pure fire, but will have a bunch of fighting moves, which is still boring.
Lame.
Sobble I have trouble reading it. Apparently Sobble will have a spy theme.
Ah.
A chameleon with a spy theme. 007 Sobble.
Okay, well that definitely makes Sobble a little better.
And then other cool stuff. So I am hyped for this game, Darby.
Oh yeah, what happened to the whole like armor, the evolutions?
That's fake. That's confirmed fake.
That's confirmed
because they had
fake.
like a dragon or something for one of the even if it wasn't like the other stuff. Once we saw the legendaries, because they said it was like a
a wooden horse or something.
Yeah, something like that. Legendary. Once we saw it was a wolf. Okay, that's fake.
The armor thing would have been cool though.
Yeah.
Sad.
Okay, so Dari, let's finally move on. Thank you for letting me do that, Dari. I enjoy talking about.
Sorry I wasted 8 minutes on Pokemon Sleep. It just had to talk about Pokemon Sleep.
That's fine. Let's move on to Stadia, Darby.
All right.
Okay, so Stadia had their Stadia Connect thing, where they need to. I guess first we start with the presentation of it. But as the name implies, we're Connect. It sounds a lot like Direct.
Yeah.
And it was a lot like that. Maybe more talking from people during the thing, which is fine.
Yeah, I think someone said that like Sony really should have rhymed so that we have Direct Connect and something else.
Yeah.
But well.
So presentation was, I thought, as far as their style was good. As far as what it needed to be, it was kind of, they gave all the information, show trailers, all that kind of stuff.
Like a highly edited video package, which like again everyone
lasted about 24ish minutes,
something like that. Everyone's going that direction. That's the direction to go.
I like that direction, but I also take the direction of what else like Microsoft's doing for E3. That's fine too.
Yeah, like you can have your like certain things like that, but even Microsoft, it's not quite a Nintendo Direct, but they have their like inside Xbox. They're starting to do these like, kind of smaller like things like that. You know, like
I enjoy more of that.
These more direct things. I think that's good for like year round. At E3, it's cool to blow it out, but you know.
So let's get into some of that nitty gritty information, Darby.
Yes.
They announced the Founders Edition, which will come out in November. The regular edition will be out in 2020. The Founders Edition will be $129.99 US and feature the following: a limited edition Night Blue controller, Chromecast Ultra normally retails for $69.99, Theme of Stadia Pro subscription, first chance to claim a Stadia name,
New Master 69,
and one Theme of Buddy Pass to give Stadia Pro to a friend. Want to start there?
Yeah. Sure. I mean,
I guess I can go on a little bit more.
Well, yeah, actually, let's get through the different packages, like not just the Founders.
Stadia Pro will cost $9.99 US a month. Stadia Pro will be required to play up to 4K/60 frames per second /HDR and 5.1 surround sound capabilities for your Stadia games. Stadia Base will let you stream games only up to 1080p/60 frames per second. Stadia Pro will also have free games included, starting with Destiny 2 and all of its expansions. Did I mention? Yeah. Stadia Base is free, if that wasn't obvious. Doesn't come with free games on that. And I'll just read this last point, so you know that. Baldur's Gate 3 was announced during the Stadia Connect, as well as a Stadia exclusive game, Guilt, which is being developed by Tequila Works.
Yeah. And we'll talk about that at the end. Because
Baldur's Gate 3 not exclusive, by the way.
Yeah. And so Stadia Base, so there is, like, we were talking about this before, like when Stadia was first announced, that we were saying like this needs to at least have an option that I can just like buy my games. Like I don't have to pay anything for Stadia. I can just buy games and play it on Stadia, and that is going to happen. It's just, it sounds like that is not going to be offered until 2020. Like this year, if you play it this year, you're gonna have to pay for the subscription thing for it, or the Founders Pack.
Straight up get the Founders Pack.
Okay, you have to do the Founders, So you will have to pay for it if you want to do it this year. That's obviously what we're not going to be doing. We will obviously not be doing that if we do this at all. It will be later. But I think that is very crucial and very huge to have it free like that, because even for like, we're about to be negative about a lot of things, but one thing that I think can't be overstated is that Google is offering you like Borderlands 3, a bunch of other new games like this, and you can go and you can just pay $60 and play Borderlands 3, or just pay $60 and play whatever, and you don't have to buy any console or anything. And for people gaming on a budget, that's huge. Like if a kid wants to play this but their parents can't afford to throw down $400 on a console or $300 on a console, this is that is like, that's pretty big. That's a pretty big deal.
Or even with the Founders Edition with the controller and the Chromecast Ultra, where you still play on your PC and then hook it up to your TV and all that, and that's still much cheaper than,
you're still undercutting
than like even what the older consoles cost right now.
Right. And I think that's very big, and that honestly makes it a lot more likely for me to try this out with something. It would probably be something small.
Maybe like, Guilt.
yeah. That did look cool. That was the horror game one. Yeah,
the one with the kid in the school.
Yeah, it looked cool.
Of course, that's the exclusive one. That's the one. This looks interesting.
Yeah.
That was like other than Baldur's Gate, the one new game they announced. But
yeah. But I'm guessing you agree with that. That's a big deal. It's a big deal to have that.
No, that's a good thing to have, especially with considering what the Stadia Pro actually is. So yeah, again to that, and one of my main problems with this, I guess, presentation, and maybe with the service, but I guess more with the presentation and how they're marketing it. So and it felt like they were kind of cagey about it during the actual thing. You just had to do research to figure this out. And I'm kind of stealing this line from Daniel Blubber from Easy Allies. It seemed like they were trying to sell us Xbox Game Pass, but what they're actually selling us is Xbox Live with the Pro thing.
Right. You're not actually getting games.
Because they made it sound like you can play all these games, and you needed to kind of play these games for the most part.
And that's what a lot of people coming out of it thought.
Exactly.
Because it wasn't very clear.
I was questioning at the end, just like, but I felt like they would have been more direct about that if that was the case, especially at that price, because it's not a bad price, for a subscription necessarily, if that's what it is. But that's not what it is, and yeah, but this is pretty much just to look and sound nicer, like 4K and stuff, which a lot of people wouldn't even be able to take advantage of because of the, not everyone has 4K stuff.
Right. Yeah, like this Pro service was treated like it was.
Like
the thing that
needed this.
Well, it was treated like it was the main product that most people are going to use, when it's not. Like, it's not for most people. It's for like people who have the best of the best equipment and disposable income to go. It was like, it should have kind of been, here is base, and then also here is Pro. Instead, it was here is Pro and then base. And
the one game they announced is Destiny. Is a pretty old game. Admittedly, they are doing the cool thing of, or at least Destiny is, and Google was taking advantage, for lack of a better word, that made it sound like it's more nefarious than Google's part. Now let me just get to it. You get all the expansions for Destiny, which is good, and you're able to transfer your character from all other platforms,
which is huge,
to that. So that's cool.
Yeah. I mean, that's another thing that goes along with the Call of Duty stuff we talked before. This is going to start to become a more common thing.
It was funny, though, because this happened like right before Destiny's kind of live stream, and it said during it, I don't know if you noticed, when they were talking about Destiny, pending approval from Sony for PS4.
Well, you saw Jason Schreier's tweet, right?
No. I saw that was funny. Yeah. It was like, then in the live stream, right after it said, approval for all things, like... And Jason Schreier was like, this probably like just happened, or like the last 24 hours.
Yeah, Jason Schreier said it was literally like going down to the like hours before it was like they had to get Sony's approval, and they got it. And like,
I found that funny.
How happy do you think Bungie was? I'm like, holy shit, we got it.
Honestly, we can just put that in here, because that's honestly, we don't care about Destiny as a whole, but that's a big thing.
Oh, huge.
So we can talk about that here. The whole now. Add Destiny to the list where Sony's opening up, like, hey, you can do this stuff,
and it comes right after Call of Duty.
Destiny's free to play now.
Call of Duty has crossplay. Yeah, Destiny free to play is the Destiny thing that's big. But like Call of Duty having the crossplay, Destiny having cross progression, like this is
crossplay, right?
And well, did they say crossplay?
I thought they said crossplay.
And they might.
It was just cross progression. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, either way, these are big.
Huge.
These are huge, and like we are starting to see like literally weeks, like 1 week, and then the next, like this is getting faster, and it's going to become a thing where it's expected. Like people, like your friend having an Xbox and you having the PlayStation. At some point, so many games are going to support that cross progression, cross play, that if it's not there, it's going to be like, oh, what?
Yeah.
The hell, Which that is great. I love that. That's the future I want to be, and it's like so cool that we're getting here. Like independent. Like I know this is not a Stadia discussion, but I'm happy with that. And then I mean, like honestly, I still think. I mean, and obviously, nothing in this presentation still makes me believe like right out the gate. Like
that's
I think
kind of
this
the main
is
thing. They added nothing to this that makes anyone can believe it. This will work. I know that's hard to do, but.
I mean, but I will say I am still interested in Stadia, because just like having the ability to like I can like maybe prop up my phone here and just play, like pick up my game that I've been playing somewhere else, and then throw it on my TV, and then throw it on my computer, and throw it on whatever the hell else. That is really, really cool. That is a really cool concept that I do think is going to be a big deal in the future. I'm still in the camp that I'm pretty sure here in South Carolina in 2019 it'll run like shit and it'll not be worth it at all. But I do think that it's very like that is the direction we're heading, and I feel like Stadia could work really well if xCloud doesn't just eat its lunch.
That's what I was thinking. We might learn about that today, especially with the Game Pass news.
Yeah, so Stadia might look even really a lot worse in 2 hours for us. But overall, I don't think it looks bad necessarily. I still think it looks early. It looks kind of before its time.
Yeah. I feel like this might be a little kind of the rushing it thing.
Well, and Google Stadia, I don't think it's ever going to be something for us that becomes one of our main things. It's going to be a supplement to other things. Just the shitty part about it is me saying that sounds nice, but for it to be a supplement, I would have to buy the game twice. I'd have to buy a game on PlayStation and then buy it again on Stadia.
Honestly, unless it really becomes something big and I just find a lot of use for it, I can't imagine me getting anything on Stadia besides exclusives.
Yeah, probably me too. Yeah.
So,
and then things like them showing off Mortal Kombat, that's laughable. Who is going to want to play Mortal Kombat?
No guy who's playing really into fighting games are going to play it on there. No. So I was happy to see the Power Rangers game on there, not because of the fighting game, because I'm happy the Power Ranger game is getting something. Because Darby, I haven't played it, but I just watched more of it. Cool, yeah. It's looks like a really good game.
Yeah.
But list of games pretty solid. Had a lot of big AAA games on there. A couple the ones that just came out recently and all that stuff. A couple that are coming out and all kind of stuff. So that stuff's fine. If I was to criticize the game list, and this just might because the rushing, quote unquote, rushing it out or whatever, we don't know that. But they only have one exclusive right now, and it's the smallest, the more budgety title they showed on that list.
Yeah.
Because Baldur's Gate, they announced that, which is cool, and obviously getting those announcements are big, but it is going to be available on other PC platforms.
Yeah, and still I think this is what we said when the Google Stadia first announced too, though. When Google Stadia has exclusives, it's going to make me feel way more sour than other consoles that have exclusives, because now, this Guilt game is now going to be a game that I have to stream. I can't download. I have to stream it. So if my internet sucks, then I just cannot play this game in a good way.
Yeah.
Which sucks, because imagine if you could download it, then suddenly Stadia is an amazing service where you don't have to pay for a console, and you can download games, and you can stream them if you want to. But when you're on the go or whatever, great, stream your game. But when you're home, you have it downloaded. I would have no problems with the service. It would be fantastic.
Yeah. I feel like
that one little change, and this would be fantastic.
Yeah, we talked about this before. Yeah, I feel like we'd be a lot more positive. Yeah, if downloading was an option.
Which I don't get why. I don't know.
Game Pass was originally streaming and that kind of stuff, but they added this, so hopefully Stadia follows suit.
Hopefully, because that honest to God would solve so many problems. Because even if the streaming sucked, oh well, at least I have
at least I have the option to download.
Yeah, and at least I have the option to stream.
And then it might make it for some people who aren't beholden to Steam, in that ecosystem and everything, more likely to pick it up on there. It's well, I can still download it like I can do on any other or Steam, but then I have the option to do all this other stuff pretty easily, which that would make me a lot more interested in Stadia.
I can firmly say sorry, go ahead.
I was saying I imagine for me and you, for a lot of games, as long as the prices were the same, if we were gonna get it on PC, we'd get it on Stadia over the other one just to have that option.
Yeah, because why not? I am not loyal to any store apparently a lot of PC gamers are.
Yeah.
If this I get the same experience I get somewhere else, but I have this other option. Of course, and yeah. So if that happens, I will definitely change some of my tune on Stadia if that happens. But we gotta talk about Baldur's Gate 3 a little bit. I know this is gonna go long.
It's long enough, but I like it. Let's get into these discussions.
It's E3.
It's warm up for E3.
It's
baby.
E3.
Let's think of our Microsoft discussion.
Yeah, they'll probably be oh shit, it's Bethesda time. Okay.
But Baldur's Gate, that is a big announcement.
Yeah, because
Larian.
That's what we have not mentioned. It's Larian Studios, who are the Divinity Original 2 guys. That feels good because Divinity Original Sin is literally they wanted to make Baldur's Gate, and the guy in the video was I approached them about making Baldur's Gate 3, and they were basically who the hell are you? And then now Divinity's a huge,
it's
huge
like,
deal.
Yeah. You guys are wanting.
And that's such a great story. Now they approached him, like when they turned him down before, and now
it seems to be a dream project for them, which is exciting. It's exciting for fans of Divinity and fans of Baldur's Gate and all that kind of stuff. This is an exciting announcement just in general.
Yeah, and it makes me want to go back and play. Like I know Baldur's Gate 1 and 2 are super old, and
I was trying to remember. We played a Baldur's. I know it's not going to be this style. Yeah, Dark Alliance. I remember having fun. I know it's completely different from this game, but
and I've seen a lot of people say the same thing. It's like I only played Dark Alliance, but I loved it. And I honestly don't know if Dark Alliance is looked at as an abomination by other people, by Baldur's Gate fans. I'm not sure.
I'm not sure you want to get on PC. I did see something there announced a Baldur's Gate 1 and 2 combo pack for consoles.
I would want it on PC. It's just like that control scheme.
I guess one thing to think about, the positive of that is there might be a combo pack on PC and it might be cheaper.
yeah, which I would hope so. Like right now, they're both like $20. I think like maybe they'll be bundled together for cheaper. But I mean, so obviously I don't have a deep history with Baldur's Gate, but I know that how good of an RPG they are, and I know that they influence so much. And just seeing how awesome Divinity Original Sin 2 was, and they said that they tripled the studio size for this.
Yeah.
So that game is massive and has so much in it, and now they're gonna have even more money in such a big title. Like they are so good at story and combat. Like Divinity Original Sin 2, whether you are super into really hard and diverse gameplay, or you're kind of like me, you like that, but you're more into the role-playing aspect, they are so good at both sides of that. There's just Divinity Original Sin 2 is one of the best RPGs of all time, and everyone should play it, so I am stoked for this.
Oh, no, yeah, this is definitely a reason to be stoked. I haven't followed too much in. Do we know if we're getting any more information about this game at E3, maybe a PC gaming show or something?
I haven't. I don't know either way. Yeah, I haven't really heard.
Oh yeah, speaking of Stadia, there was not really a leak or anything, but big murals and ads at E3. One for Avengers, and Avengers is going to be on Stadia.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
And PC and PS4 next month. So
everything
no surprise. I mean, that was expected.
Yeah.
If we wanted this game, Avengers games get the budget we wanted it to, it wasn't going to be on Switch. That's just the unfortunate thing. And we want to get that game on Switch probably.
Yeah, it'd be another Mortal Kombat situation.
Yeah. So,
well, Jeff.
So Darby, let's
talk about another game that I'm excited for. It looked pretty good.
Let's talk about Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, Darby. I don't have any information here. It was just.
Okay, so we can just skip it. It's just the trailer. It's the trailer.
Yeah, just talk about the gameplay thing. We just talk about it.
So you watched the whole thing, right?
Yeah, I watched the whole, at least 30-minute thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hosted by Gregory Miller.
Gregory Miller, bringing the energy, throwing his cards, his speech cards. I don't need this.
Yeah, everyone hating him on the internet because everyone hates everything. They hate fun.
Oh, come on. I didn't even know that, but I could have assumed.
Yeah. So what I like about this gameplay trailer thing or showcase, it was about 13-ish minutes, I think, is that it showed us the right kind of area and enough stuff to give us an idea of how the game is played and some of the mechanics.
Yeah.
But didn't really tell us too much about the story.
Yeah, this was the perfect thing that I kind of wished that the other presentation was, or just that the other presentation didn't exist.
And it had Forrest Whitaker in it, which is isn't he in Rogue One?
Rogue One, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm sure that's exciting for you.
Yeah, it was and I'm and then I even saw it wasn't K2A2, but it was that kind of droid. It was the Rogue One, the droid from Rogue One. It was that style of droid. So it's that kind of establishes even more this is canon. This is a canon ass game.
Yeah. And I'm sure that's exciting for you.
Right.
Which I know you really like Rogue One.
Oh yeah, Rogue One's my favorite Star Wars movie. But no, I will say straight up right away, I don't think anything gameplay wise in this gameplay thing is anything revolutionary. I think it's it's nothing new, but I think it looks solid. It looks like a very solid kind of cinematic Uncharted action game, but obviously not completely Uncharted because Melee and everything. And I've seen complaints about that, and I do think that's this is definitely this is a game that is piggybacking off of so many games before it, and I think that's perfectly fine because it has an added element that a lot of other games don't. It's a freaking canon Star Wars experience. And from the environment, and especially the thing that like jumped out to me the most is the sound design was so damn cool in this. Like when he was swinging the lightsaber, like every single hit just felt natural. It felt like I was watching a movie at times.
I like the little details of it. Looked like it was pretty true to where you cut the soldiers as far as like.
Well,
you know what I mean?
even like it's a weird like. So many times I feel like action games like this, like if they try to go cinematic, it makes it end up looking like this gameplay just looks like I'm just hitting a button and he's going through these animations and I'm not actually doing anything. Like it's flashy, but it's empty. Or it's the other way around. It's like super like almost like
meticulous.
Meticulous, and like it doesn't, like it doesn't feel great, or it feels good but doesn't look great. This was the perfect mix where like I actually felt like everything he was doing felt like you're doing that. Like it felt like that you pull someone up and then stab them.
My favorite thing was when one of the soldiers shot at you. You slowed down their thing. You pulled the soldier to you and moved him in front of his shot.
So dope. So sweet. Yeah, which that was in episode 7. Like he really stopped that. He didn't do the other part of it though.
So it seems like they're doing some stuff with the force powers. I'm sure there's more stuff that they'll show or will be in the game that you can do with the stuff.
They said this was about 3 hours in, which I imagine is still first quarter of the game.
Okay, so I'll ask you this question then. So apparently there's 3 hours in the game. What's the main character's name? Do you remember?
It's like starts with a K or a C.
Is that Cam or something? I don't know.
Something, I don't know.
I know. The main
Kazarar.
Yeah. Remember, it's actually kind of simple. But
Cal.
Okay. So yeah, 3 hours in, apparently Cal's already got his lightsaber and using the force and stuff.
Right.
How does that make you feel as far as like, and correct me if I'm wrong, it sounded like you were kind of maybe potentially interested in doing at least a little bit of the whole he's in hiding type thing.
Yeah, okay, I guess I didn't really think about that. Yeah, I was kind of hoping that, I mean, and I guess he still could be like,
I guess he could be, yeah.
He could break out of this and then still be kind of like underground. I mean, like, you're obviously, I think this entire game you're going to be in pursuit. Like, people are going to be in pursuit of you. So I think there's a way to still, toe that line, to still like make it feel that way.
And I guess to go against what I just said, I guess we don't know how the start of the game, like how good he is at the Force and Jedi things normally. If like he kind of grew up learning the stuff about the Force and he's just kind of in hiding now, or if he's just kind of learning it or that kind of stuff. We don't know that necessarily.
Yeah.
At least I don't know.
Like I think the thing that I like said at the beginning, like, I want there to be like sections of this game where it's like he can't use his powers because he would like expose himself, and I think you could do that in 3 hours. You could do that in the first 3 hours. That could be I think, because I expect this to be kind of like an Uncharted game, maybe 15 hours. Like 13 to 15 hours, and I would be fine with that. It might be longer.
I'm probably closer to 20ish.
Probably. It might be closer to 20, but anywhere in that span is fine, because I expect this to be a pretty linear game, which is fine. It's like that's
100% fine. No, this game's gonna sell gangbusters. Gameplay looks solid, so as long as it holds up to what we saw and potentially be better. This game's going to sell a buttload.
And I think Easy Ally said this, and I completely agree. The biggest compliment I can give to this is it never stopped feeling like Star Wars. Like, it just felt like I am watching an event that happened in Star Wars, but I'm playing it.
And it kind of looks cool to cast the whole thing. Like, there might be different factions and stuff. So they mentioned, like, with the whole, I think, giant spiders and the stormtroopers or whatever, when they were fighting each other, you could just stand by and watch. But you don't get experience.
Someone, I do remember the guy.
So I will say this is let's to bring it down a little bit. Did not give it all praise. The Wookiees did not look great.
I don't think any of the character models looked nearly as good as the environments did.
Yeah, but the Wookiees, at least the stream I was on, looked especially kind of egregious.
Yeah, I agree. It looked kind of like a different.
I get it. Hair physics and all that is hard, but
it's hard, yeah. Oh, and no, even when they like zoomed in on any of their faces, it was like this
doesn't look as good as the trailer.
The characters look like 3 years older than the environments do. Like, the characters look like they were made 3 years ago, and the environments look modern. The designs are definitely not all the way there. And I am not like 100% on this game. Like, I do think I expect that by the end of this, I'm going to be bored with the combat. I expect that because like a lot of these games end up that way. It's hard when you have these type of action games, especially when you're trying to be super cinematic. By the time you get to the end of this, especially if it is 20 hours or 20 plus hours, you've seen a lot of these same animations over and over again. There's only so much that they can add on top of this to make it interesting, and a lot of times they fall short. So like, I do not think this is going to be like a 9.5 like amazing game. Like I think it's going to be a very, very good, solid Star Wars game, and as long as the story and the environment,
something Star Wars fans need.
Yes, I mean as long as the story and the environment are like really, really good, and the gameplay is at least like good or passable or whatever, then I'm going to enjoy it. You know, it's not going to be my game of the year or anything like that. I don't expect, but it's going to be a good ass game, and yeah, it's telling that I'm more excited about this than I am than movie that's coming out this fall at this point. But yeah.
I'm interested to hear what people say.
Yeah, I've seen like some negative stuff. I mean, like I think there is like room to be negative, but
you know, Darby, it might struggle. It's coming out around Pokemon Death Stranding.
Yeah, you know.
Well, that's gonna be a crazy time. Especially there'll be more stuff announced.
I worry most for Death Stranding. If we're no,
I was making a joke.
Yeah,
Pokemon and Star Wars are going to be fine. It's like how much does it affect Death Stranding more than anything?
Yeah.
Well, that'll be a good time for cover for us, depending, because at least you know you might get Star Wars. Except for it, I'm getting Pokemon for sure.
Yep.
Interested in Death Stranding, so yeah.
At least I imagine at the very least Jacob will get Death Stranding, even if neither of us do.
Yeah. Okay.
Exciting times. Speaking of exciting times,
talk about more about
Are
EA.
you ready, Jeff?
What?
Are you ready, kids?
We're not doing that now.
Oh, and I didn't say that's on next on the thing.
No.
Okay. Well, all right, tease. That's a tease.
Discuss from adding bangers from IGN. EA has announced 3 new EA original titles by A Way Out's Hazelight Studios, FaZe, Zoink Games, and Glowmade, who is making its EA Originals debut for a brand new game. Zoink's game's new title is called Lost in Random, and is a blend of strategy and action that explores the notion of chance and possibility, set within a beautifully dark and vivid world. Hazelight Studios' new game wasn't fully revealed or titled, but the team did promise that it will give players a fresh new take on the challenges of working together. Glowmade will be releasing a co-op action RPG called Rustheart that follows the player and their homemade robot sidekick as they adventure across a vibrant alien multiverse. Glowmade is creating this as a compelling mix of tactical action roleplay gameplay, player invention, and spray paint.
Happy to see the Hazelight is still going on the co-op angle.
Yes.
Because A Way Out was dope, and I want to see more of that type of concept.
I kind of want Hazelight and Supermassive Games to do a similar thing where they just kind of the anthology thing with a different thing. Similar kind of gameplay and kind of philosophy, mix it up some and new stories each time.
Yeah, because those were so unique that like we can explore that some more before it gets old. You know, like, I'm still itching for more things.
I am down for that, and I'm happy. I was with the way EA was doing their EA Play stuff. I was worried we weren't getting stuff, but we got the EA original titles. Don't really have much like as far as trailers and footage as far as I know, but the descriptions of all these are cool.
Yeah, the description's cool. I mean, it does say that we only have descriptions, and obviously that would not have played in a conference. So
yeah,
but it's something, I guess. Obviously, I think all of these must be pretty early on if they couldn't show anything.
I mean, A Way Out's only a little over a year old, so that makes sense.
Yeah, it's not surprising, but
Okay, so don't really have much more to add to that. That's just exciting. We will talk about those games more as more time. So, well, speaking of EA originals, what's that called? Sea of Solitude, I think, is coming out next month.
That's the one they showed last year? The
one with the weird...
Okay. Next month?
I think so, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Or maybe this month. One of those.
Wow.
It's coming out.
All right. Yeah, still looking... Well, now are you ready, kids?
Aye, Captain. Okay. So THQ Nordic kind of like on Tuesday or something said next 3 days we have one announcement per day. Get hyped, kids. So yeah, that's what they did. The first announcement was SpongeBob SquarePants: The Battle of Bikini Bottom Rehydrated, a remake of the cult classic coming to PC, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and Nintendo Switch.
We did it. We did it,
boys.
Barrett. We did
Barry did it.
We did it.
So this is actually kind of a fun, exciting thing.
Yeah, I actually didn't get it from you. Like, I played the shit out of this as a kid. Like, I played this game so much. Did you have this one?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I think a lot of people did. Like, it is...
Man,
I'm sure it does not hold up.
Probably
I'm
not.
Sure it does not hold up.
But, Dark, we should play it anyway.
Oh, yeah.
And stream it. And get it on Switch.
The nostalgia. I mean, did you see the screenshots? They look pretty good.
Yeah, not bad.
Yeah. I hope the gameplay, like, I wonder how they'll do it. I wonder how they'll do, like, the complete remake type thing. But,
yeah.
I don't know. It was a very fun game as a little kid.
I think it's supposed to be coming out this year, maybe? I don't know if they put a date on this.
Yeah, they didn't really have any, like, the reveal was just SpongeBob.
Yeah.
Going.
So that's exciting.
That's hype, and it's still, as we'll see with the next two games, just THQ Nordic reviving the AA, and I love it so much.
Yeah, I mean,
I love it.
As far as the three announcements, I was curious, like, hey, what are they announcing?
I would love if they would stay off 8chan. I would love that. But if they keep putting out like good games, that's good. But maybe stay off 8chan anyway.
Please. Okay, next game, Darksiders Genesis, which I think was announced, leaked, or whatever beforehand. A spinoff of the Darksiders series. It will be released later this year for PS4, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, PC, and Google Stadia. It is a top-down RPG in a vein similar to Diablo. Looks pretty cool.
Cool. Like, yeah, I'm definitely more interested in this than the mainline Darksiders series. Still, probably not something that I'm going to have time for, and I don't, have any love for the Darksiders thing. I would play Diablo before I would play Darksiders Genesis probably. Yeah. But it still looks cool. I mean, it looks like a solid, the art style was cool.
Final game, Darby.
Another one in the vein of SpongeBob for me.
Yep, they announced Destroy All Humans, a remake of the 2005 game coming to PS4, Xbox One, and PC in 2020. So, yeah, they just had like a little cinematic trailer thing going on. No gameplay shown. Yeah, and it sounds like this is a full remake.
So cool. I mean, it's so weird. It's so weird that this is a thing that exists. Like, only in the modern video game industry where all your dreams come true. Yep.
I'm a little upset no Switch. That could be a fun one for the Switch, but it might be because maybe this will look graphically better than you would think.
Yeah.
It's a remake.
I also love that, Destroy All Humans and SpongeBob are not re-releases, they are remakes.
Yeah.
And this was another game that I just played so much as a kid. It was such just dumb fun. I mean, like, it was the GTA type thing where, like, I guess there's missions, but I'm just going to go around and abduct people and do stupid things.
Yep.
It's so...
Alright, we're doing it. Let's play this one, too.
Oh, yeah, it'd be so much fun. I really hope, like, both of these games are $30 is what I'm hoping for. 40 I can deal with, but I've
seen prices. I've seen like 30/40. I think it might be different depending on the console, that type thing.
No. I could deal with 40, but I would prefer 30.
I agree. But these are all exciting announcements. These are probably... in the grand scheme of things, they're small, but as far as THQ Nordic like game announcements like we could have predicted, these are probably this is a pretty solid group to get people excited.
It seems pretty laser focused towards me. Just me. I'm sure there's so many other people that are like me that play these same garbage games. But
people were excited for Battle Bikini Bottom. People were hyped for that announcement.
No, when I pulled up my phone or something, I was like, "Wait, really? Like, this is actually happening?"
We're getting a new SpongeBob game, the Year of Our Lord 2019.
Honestly, SpongeBob and Destroy All Humans are about like I played them at the exact same point in my life, and I probably played them about the same amount.
Yeah. So these are exciting announcements.
Yeah. I agree.
Something that may be as exciting, not really, but it could be. It could be good. We will see. Playtonic Games announced Yooka-Laylee and the Impossible Lair, a 2D platformer in the vein of the Donkey Kong Country series. It also includes a 3D overworld. So, yeah, they were teasing another game. People were like, is it going to be a brand new IP, or are they going to use Yooka-Laylee again? And, they usually Yooka-Laylee gets kind of spin off 2D platformer.
Yep.
So it's like... We banked off that Banjo-Kazooie nostalgia. Let's bank off that Donkey Kong Country nostalgia, even though that nostalgia, not really nostalgia at this point, because we just got Tropical Freeze, not that many years ago, and people love that.
Oh, well, there again. This kind of screams to me like a very easy, quick game that we can make for not much money and maybe get money to put on the next project, because especially for indie developers, that is always a problem. Like, if you read Jason Schreier's book, the Stardew Valley guy talked about, like, He was like, I just need some more money and I need a break from Stardew Valley. So he literally I'm just going to go make a mobile game in 2 weeks. So he did that and made some more money. It's like, all right, time for Stardew Valley. I mean, it's a thing. And like Bloodstain, putting out Curse in the Moon, you just get a little bit more money to like keep going on. And I'm not saying this is a bad thing for the game. Like the game could be great, but it definitely seems like it looks like it's in the same engine as Yooka-Laylee, same kind of art style and everything. So it's probably a very quick and easy game to make and hopefully priced accordingly. But
I think so.
Could be cool.
Hey, even the original Yooka-Laylee wasn't much.
Are you at all interested in this? Because I'm
interested.
Because I know that you were a little bummed from Yooka-Laylee.
Yeah, I mean, this is not like a day one buy or anything, but I'll pay attention to see what people say.
Yeah.
But there are too many games. It's supposed to be coming out this year, so honestly, probably not until later. Yeah. And by that, and that's the kind of maybe later where probably not.
Just wait till Game Pass.
Yeah. Okay. Final thing. A great thing to wake up to, Darby. For me. Darby, you thought you were done with Kingdom Hearts at E3 after last year it coming out.
God, I thought so.
We got a new Kingdom Hearts 3 trailer at the concert last night. Yeah, Square released trailer for Kingdom Hearts 3 Remind, the story DLC that is releasing this winter.
Remind.
So some of the stuff they show in this little trailer, you show three other playable characters you can do other than Sora. In some battles you can play them as, which is cool.
Can I play Daffy Duck?
No, I'm sorry.
Then no bye.
Fair enough. And then there is some weird story stuff where it looks like it might fill in some questions people had at the end of the story.
Okay.
Because there's one particular scene where it's like it really had no, like it was close to the end of the game that had no payoff. And people who watch the trailer and play the game probably know what I'm talking about. That is like, okay, this obviously means something. What does it mean? It's like, is it something that just will come up sometime strange in the next game or something? But they might, based on the trailer, we might get a little more information about that in this DLC. So
okay.
That's exciting.
Is it a new world?
No, it doesn't look like. They didn't mention anything about a new world, unfortunately. It sounds like this might be stuff added to maybe playing the base game.
Is it Disney related or is it just all Kingdom Hearts stuff?
All Kingdom Hearts BS, Darby.
All right, so that's really, honestly, it kind of seems like, and for what you said about like towards the end of Kingdom Hearts 3, it seems like they just want to make a Kingdom Hearts game and not have Disney in it.
Oh yeah, the last like 5 or so hours, I think 5-6 hours maybe, were all Kingdom Hearts BS.
I think the devs just feel like Disney's holding them back. They just want to make a crazy Japanese JRPG.
That's what Final Fantasy is for.
Yeah, it is.
Also, something exciting, Darby. This may not be relevant to when people are listening to this, but we got a Final Fantasy 7 concert the day that we're recording this, and we're probably getting a new trailer there. Then obviously the Square Enix thing tomorrow.
Might have Final Fantasy 7 info today and tomorrow.
Yes.
I'm ready, Jeff.
Odds are, because the concert's on the West Coast, you'll probably be waking up to the news.
But or it's like will it be going on like during Bethesda, or will it be like later in the night?
Maybe. I don't know what time it starts.
It's about, so just turn off the Bethesda conference. I don't care about it anymore.
Yeah.
All right. That's us. Went a little bit longer probably than expected, but hey,
screw it.
That's okay.
E3, baby!
It's E3. E3 has begun. If we did an hour on this, can you imagine?
What we'll do on Microsoft and Nintendo. And honestly, we'll probably go longer than we thought on Square. Final Fantasy and Avengers.
Oh, dude, right now Square is my most anticipated conference just because I know something is coming there. All right. Well, thank you guys so much. Twitch.tv/NerdsAllAgeGaming. Check out all of our live conference reactions. If you miss them, they'll be on youtube.com/NerdsAllAgeGaming. And our post-conference discussions will be on the Nerds at Large Gaming podcast feed. And that's all you need to know. We'll see you in a little bit. E3!
Woo! E3, baby!